Hey there folks, welcome back to Chits and Cardboard, and today we are covering our top 5 cooperative games.
So if your friends are tired of you kicking their butts all the time at every game you bring to the table, this is a list for you.
Jeff doesn't have that problem. We've chosen not to include campaign games here because it's just a different genre. There's legacy components. So none of these games will have legacy components. These are all like one-shots. And stick around. We'll catch you in a second. Okay, and before we start, I just want everyone to know we haven't seen each other's list ahead of time, so this is going to be a surprise to the both of us. And with that, Jeff, fire us off with your number 5 cooperative game of all time.
Okay, so this game sees you and your friends battling against the game, as in most cooperative. It's hand management. You're going to be fighting against a bunch of different villains. Everybody's going to be playing a different character that's completely asymmetric. And yeah, you're going to be playing your cards and playing off of other people's cards. You have an idea of what it is now? So it is Marvel United.
It's a good pick.
This is such a popular game. Everybody loves it. It's easy to bring to the table. It's quick to play. It's easy to download into your friends' brains. And it's just fun and fun and fun over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's really fast too.
Yeah, it's really fast. You can play a bunch of different rounds in about an hour. You could probably play 3, 4, maybe
3 rounds. I'd say.
Yeah. There's tons of different expansions to it. You get so many different characters that you can play as. All your favorite heroes. Wolverine's one of my favorites. Deadpool, Spider-Man, all of the X-Men, all of the regular.
The chibis are super cute too.
Oh, absolutely. You get little chibis that you can go from different location to location to location, which have different effects on them that affect how the game plays, where the boss that you're fighting is going to be, or the villain that you're fighting is going to attack and have different effects, and it just plays out differently all the time.
Content for this game is also radically affordable. If you do the Kickstarter, but if you buy it at retail, the main boxes for each series are $30, and then the expansions are $30 a pop, and add a whole bunch.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say though, don't buy the base box. Don't buy Marvel United. The base box is the least interesting of all of them.
That's fair, yeah. And John has a bunch of content for this game. He's actually the one who first showed it to me. I'd heard about it for forever, and everybody just loved it. And the first time we brought it to the table, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it's
so much fun. It's easy, so easy to play, and I love just the fact that you can play off of everybody else's cards, and that's part of winning. And it's not easy. It's not the most difficult game in the world, but you can definitely get slammed.
Oh yeah. So
that's my number 5, Marvel United. Great game, cheap pickup. Yeah.
Wow, great. I've gone a polar opposite to you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 5 is also obviously a cooperative game. It is we're gonna call it a dungeon crawler style of cooperative game. It's in one shots. It's you could play it in a pool.
Oh, okay.
It's got very deluxe premium components.
We've had that conversation before.
Plastic cards, mouse pad, character sheets.
Yep.
A whole lot of dice. One would argue too many dice, and that game is too many bones.
Yes.
Too many bones is great. The base box is a crap load of content. Now, it is outrageously priced, and it can be produced for half the price.
Yeah, 100%.
But when you play with it, it starts to justify its price of admission, I think. Also, the new Unbreakable and Undertow starter boxes that are 2 characters and then a mission are pretty good value for $120.
Yeah,
I still think you'd want to find a sale and grab another couple characters just to keep things different.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the game's great. You're effectively playing as these gear locks, these little, we're going to call them Yordles, League of Legends Yordle equivalents.
Or kind of gnomes from your typical fantasy. That's what they're most
your skill
to.
tree is on a mouse pad, and you use dice to manage a skill tree by upgrading skills. You also have base stats that dictate how many of certain types of dice you can roll.
Yes.
Each character is wildly asymmetric, but every character is a poker chip with health that are also poker chips.
Yep.
And then your enemies are poker chips drawn from a stack with health placed under them, and it just follows a traditional initiative sequence to play.
Yeah, we've played this game so many times, and we owe it to Taylor to play the campaign. He's been asking over and over and over.
We have a campaign mode of this. It's not a campaign. It's just a sequential. You do every boss in order.
Yep.
And that seems pretty cool. We haven't tried that yet, but just as a one-shot game, it's super good.
Oh, absolutely. Great pick. Absolutely.
Too many bones. All right, Jeff.
Okay, so my number 4 came out this year.
Okay.
It's a game that we're both very, very excited about.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of asymmetry, obviously playing against the game again. You are a bunch of woodland critters who are...
It's not Root and not Spirit Island.
No, it's not Root and it's not Spirit Island. It's definitely not those two games.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're woodland critters that are playing against the machines who are coming into your woodland and just taking over and destroying everything, polluting everything. And that game is Defenders of the Wild.
Yeah, that's a good game.
This game is so much fun, and it's definitely difficult, but it's not one of those games that is like Root, very hard to download into your friends' brains.
No,
it's so good and so tactical. You need to be very, very precise with all of the decisions that you're going to make, because the impact of when you turn over those machine cards is tough. Such a massive changer to the board state.
The difficulty curve is also crazy. Like it can go from pretty manageable in the easy mode to like effing hard on like insane mode. So,
I think we've only beaten it still
on easy.
Yeah, like every time we've played it on the regular mode, we've gotten our butts kicked.
Yes.
But this game has tons of replayability. The board is modular. It's a bunch of different hexes with all kinds of different terrain types that are specific to the different factions.
Yeah.
You're trying to go each other's camps to get extra items for those extra actions and all kinds of different little functions. It's such a good game. And it was, like we said, marketed like a Spirit Island plus Root.
Yeah, it's not
and
like
it's
that at all.
really not that.
but it is good.
But it's fantastic. It's really good. It's also affordable, which is
also
great.
For those who backed it should be delivering here in I think the next month and a half. So you should get your copy soon.
I'm excited to get my copy because we only played with John's.
Yeah. And with that, my number 4
yes, sir.
is a LCG.
Okay.
In said LCG, you are buying various packs of heroes and villains. Those packs get unpacked and have consistent cards across all of them. That's what an LCG is. You are teaming up cooperatively to take on this villain in a scenario you are crafting, and that game is Marvel Champions. So another Marvel game.
Yeah.
I love Marvel Champions. I think that it's one of the best deck builder LCGs out there. Earthborn Rangers is also amazing, but I didn't include it in this list because it's a campaign.
Yes.
But Marvel Champions is great. It's basically you're just picking a hero. A hero has a set of 12 cards you have to play with, and then adding one type of heroism. I think it's like justice, aggression, security, or something like that. Whatever. I forget what the exact delineations are.
Yep.
Green, yellow, blue, red. Protection is one of them. But yeah, it's great. And the variability that each expansion adds is crazy because they all add so many cards that like you could even just get the base game and have a ton of content, and then if you wanted to add something, pick or choose a couple of it, like maybe one expansion that has each colored base card, and then you have like so much content to play off of.
This is one that I still need to try. I have not played Marvel Champions
It's
yet.
Also easy to go a bit crazy with the deluxification. I'll show B-roll of what I've got. I've got like
John
a couple of wood
deluxify.
boxes and like a 3D printed like character sheets. It's just so good. It's so good. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Very nice. I'm excited to try that out
Champions.
very soon.
Okay.
Your
number 3.
My number 3 is a dungeon crawler.
Dungeon crawler.
Yeah. And it is one that you can, like we talked about before, play in a bathtub because it is too many bones. I'll just cut to the chase.
Okay.
Yes.
I like
Too many bones. Like John was talking about, fantastic game. It's so much fun. It's a little tricky to get like up and running and everything, but it's really not that complicated when it gets down to it.
The rule book could probably use a bit of work.
Yes. If the rule book was just overhauled a little bit, it would be so much easier. Yeah. But I love the asymmetry in the game. I love the amount of dice rolling. As you know, I love dice rolling. And one thing that I wanted to mention is Too Many Bones introduces a mechanic that's not in a lot of games, if any other that I can specifically think about, and that is the backup plan. So when you have your dice and they do not go your way, they are building up towards special abilities or actions that you can do with your specific gearlock that are different for every single one. And they're some of your best abilities, which is really, really cool. This is a game we've played over and over and over again, and we'll continue to do that for a long time. I don't think it's ever going to be leaving the shelf.
Cool. Good pick.
Too Many Bones. Fantastic game. Try it out if you get a chance.
Good pick.
All right, sir. Your next game on the list.
Yeah, my number 3 game on the list is probably the weirdest entry when you think of a co-op game.
Okay.
It is a cooperative worker placement game that plays, I think, up to like 6 or 7 people.
Okay.
Or players. Basically, you are trying to save an island from sinking. and that game is Atlantis Rising.
Okay, yeah. So another game I haven't played.
Atlantis Rising is a worker placement game where like the different like branches of Atlantis, we'll call it. Imagine Atlantis is like a starfish.
Yep.
The different branches are different types of actions.
Okay.
And there's a bit of push your luck because you place your worker on these actions, and the actions furthest away from the center of the board tend to be the strongest. But before you get to do the action, you have to flip the sinking, like the ocean rising cards, whatever they're called. And then it'll sink the section you're on, and if it does, you don't get to do the action.
Okay, yeah.
So
I like that.
There's a lot of management in that sense. There's also a bit of luck involved where you're rolling dice at each action to see if you got the reward or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, and we played it a couple times, and it just stuck. That game is fantastic. So yeah, Atlantis Rising, 2nd edition.
All right, so my number 2. This is an asymmetric game. Again, I love asymmetry, as we both do. It is card drafting, and you are basically a bunch of spirits that are defending an island against settlers that are coming in to try and colonize and take over. I know, I was trying to like be more like obfuscate like what I was going to go to, but it's Spirit Island. Spirit Island is fantastic. It's at the top of so many people's top 10 list, top 100 list, top games of all time. And it is there for good reason. There's so much asymmetry in this game. You can also play it solo, but as a cooperative game, it's fantastic. Yeah. And you can either do it in the way where you and your friends really talk out your plan and try and come up with like, I'm going to play this card, so if you play that card, then we can do this together. Or you can kind of go into a little bit more of a hard mode and not discuss things so much, but just be warned, if you do try that, things can go very, very badly.
Yeah, but also if you discuss things, the game takes forever.
Yes. It is a game that can definitely take a long time. I wouldn't say it overstays its welcome, but you do want to be snappy with your turns.
I think that at 3 or 4 players, it drags on a long time. I have everything for it. Don't get me wrong, I love the game. It's not a short game.
No, it's not a short game. It's very, very crunchy, obviously.
Also, super accessible. Horizons.
Yep. Horizons
Spirit
is great.
Island. Yeah, I think it's called Horizons of Spirit Island.
Yep, correct.
Came out, and it comes with 4 different spirits and like a very simplified resource set for the main board.
Yes,
and correct. It's like $40. Once again, I feel like we're on opposite ends of the spectrum here, Jeffrey. My number 2 is polarizingly opposite, but also very similar to Spirit Island. Okay. You are playing as a faction in a cooperative game. You are attempting to drive out invaders of sorts. Okay. But you're facing invaders or opposition in both directions, and you're kind of stuck in the middle. Where you're in this world, there's White Walkers, chaos coming in from the outside, and there's Imperial coming out from the inside, trying to beat you up. This is a cooperative 4X game that is one of the most stunning productions in existence, and it is Uprising Curse the Last Emperor.
Yes. Yeah, great game.
Holy crap, is that game good. It's really hard.
Yes, it is.
We'll have probably a full review or at least some more coverage on it eventually. But it is a really, really hard cooperative game. Basically, you are playing as these various factions. Each round, you have multiple action points to do actions. The difficulty will change how many action points you have.
Yes.
You are doing the typical 4X thing, so expanding, exploring, exterminating, and exploiting. Basically, you're building these havens. The more havens you have out, the more resources you get from both the tile and the fact your haven is out. Your characters are a bit asymmetric, and then you have armies that you're moving around outside of your hero, we'll call it. Your heroes can do quests. You can gain items. It's fantastic and very, very threatening. Yes. The chaos is coming in at you and kicking your butt. The Imperial Legion is coming out at you and kicking your butt. And sometimes they hit each other, and that's great for you.
It's fantastic when they fight each other.
Now, nothing I'm saying sounds cooperative, but the premise is that it's based on victory points, and if anyone has less victory points than either of the opponents at the end of the game, you lose.
Yeah.
And you win together, factions. So you all have to beat both factions. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I want to say our win rate's like 60%. Expansions do help a lot. They have a Titans of the First Age expansion that adds basically like comeback mechanics where like if you're losing too much, it'll give you rerolls that you can apply to different dice checks.
That's really good because when you lose one of your settlements and it gets crushed by like the Empire or whatever, like it's brutal.
But anyway, it's a load of fun. We've played it. I think it's our most played game in terms of time this year.
Probably. Yeah.
I think we played it like 10 times. So.
Yeah, we've got it to the table a bunch so far.
Yeah.
Cool.
Uprising.
Alrighty. All right, time for my number one game.
Oh, this is your number one.
This is my number one game. We got here already.
Strap in, folks.
I know.
This is some serious. I just shift the camera.
One of the reasons why this is my number one is partially to trigger John a little bit. Yeah, this is not a game he enjoys. Okay, so this is obviously a cooperative game. You are holding off an alien invasion that is coming to basically storm into a base or get to a ship.
I don't like this game.
That you need to defend and you need to go out. And
it is anxiety in a box. If you want to have mental health issues, play this game.
It's so good. Okay, so the game is Project Elite. And it is dice chucking, chaos, fun. Like, it's so
unplayable at
good.
more than 4 players. You need a table double the size.
Okay, so I will say the game plays fantastically at 2 players, and it plays really, really good. It's probably its like shining point is at 3.
Yeah.
But at 4 players, it gets to be a lot because you've got hands going in on the table because it's a real-time game. You set a timer for 2 minutes for each round, and basically the aliens
That's
are
on easy mode. It's supposed to be faster than that.
No, I know. That's on easy mode, and it's not an easy game. We've lost many times. We won as well a bunch, but basically aliens are spawning at 3 different portals that are across the board from your starting point. You're going out onto the board trying to get items, new weapons, and different things to help you survive for the most part. And you're moving out on the board while the aliens are coming in. Every time you do an action, whether it's to try and move or pick up an item or fight something, you're rolling dice and you're slotting them into your different spots on your weapons and to actually be able to activate them. The more powerful weapons have more slots and also like lock points, so you lose some of your dice as you're trying to complete something. The same with trying to get the different locations to activate, like whether you're trying to destroy a location or do a survey scan or something along those lines. You have to complete all of those things before one single alien out of a box of, I think there's 60 different miniatures that are all just the aliens. One of those gets to your starting point and you lose the game.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of like a glorified tower defense where you're the towers
it is
and
a little
move.
bit. Yeah. You're
I'm
the
going
moving
to be
towers.
clear. I don't think it's a bad design. I don't think the game is bad. It just causes me severe anxiety.
It's great. He hated
it. It makes me freaking lose it. I'm sitting there rolling dice trying to hit. And look, if you're into like the real-time type situations, it's a lot of fun. It's high pressure.
It is. And basically it's one of those games that everybody is standing around the table and you kind of need to because you're chucking your dice and you have to grab them quick. And it's like, nope, that's not the roll I want. Nope, that's not the roll I want. Every time a red comes up, you've got to move aliens forward. I've probably had more fun in one play session with that game than almost anything else.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that though.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay, nice. All right. Number 1.
Mr. John, what is your number 1? I doubt it has a ton of dice chucking randomness.
No, it has a bit.
Okay,
very little.
Fair. Yeah.
So my number 1 is a space exploration cooperative puzzle style game. It's very unique. It's the first of its type that I feel I've played. Basically, you are on a planet. You are spacefaring people.
I think I know what it is.
You are attempting to get through. It is kind of a story, but it's in one shots. A story of like objectives you have to complete on this planet. And you're doing so in a very limited amount of time. Time being the limiting factor in this game. And that game is Unsettled. Unsettled by Orange Nebula. It's a phenomenal game. Basically, it comes with these planet boxes. There's, I think, 9 of them right now. 11 if you got their latest. It's not a Kickstarter. It's just for pre-order on their site. I think it's even in stock now, so you can go pick those up. There's 11 planets. Each planet has 3 scenarios. The reason I don't consider this a legacy game or a campaign game is because scenarios are repeatable because the deck or the map is randomized each time you play it, and the puzzle is making the map complete or finishing the map. With the amount of time you have, and the amount of time you have and the path to do so changes every time you set it up. So, for example, I've played the first planet like all 3 scenarios like 5 times, and I still find it fun just playing that planet, even though it's easier than others.
It is a great game.
Now, basically, the way it works is you have these dice that you're almost never rolling. There's 2 dice that you do roll that are like Luna, which is like a little helpful robot. It's very cute. It gives you warm hugs. The first card
Luna keeps you alive.
Yeah, Luna's great. Luna's first card is like soothing voice, and the premise is Luna sings at you and makes you more comfortable on the planet. You're having a panic attack.
Psychology is definitely a factor in that game.
I could probably use that while I'm playing Project Elite.
Yes, you could.
Anyway, but effectively, You are moving through these tiles, through this space, building various facilities, discovering cool things on a planet, which give you temporary like bonuses or upgrades or something like that. And then trying to fill objectives. Without spoiling too much, the first objective is you've landed on this like mushroomy planet.
Yes.
It's very sticky. I think they
Lots of spores.
They make a pun at Rumble at the fungal somewhere in there. Rumble in the fungal somewhere in there.
I remember that.
And you're trying not to go delusional and hallucinate because that's what's going on this planet. All these shroomies are getting you a little spaced out.
Yep. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun when I played Unsettled. Like it's a great game. The fact that they can just bring out another box with another planet, which has the different scenarios, like it's great. It's a great pickup.
Yeah, and Orange Nebula is I've only got 2 of their games. I think they only have 2. I've got Vindication and Unsettled, and so far
Vindication's
they
fantastic
have not missed. And that marks the end of our top 5 cooperative games of all time, Jeffrey. If you enjoyed this video or disagreed with us and have other games you enjoy, comment down below with those thoughts. If you want to join us on Discord for some games or to win some giveaways, our Discord will be in the description. And check out our last video right here.
Yeah.
I'm John.
I'm Jeff.
We'll catch you next time. Signing out. See you.